Now, in this playlist, I'll start walking over this at the very top. Now, we talked about interactivity and what these things are. If you haven't heard about it, you look at the video previous to this one in the playlist. Now, the first thing that happens up here is it's at the course room handbook for web design. Now, I've also talked about whether or not this one is the course web design for you. It doesn't matter. You still, I think you would benefit very much from looking at this course room introduction because it will be similar to the other courses I have. So this course room introduction is for many courses, even though they're not web design courses. So go down to syllabus. So syllabus is something every course have. It's also in Swedish called kursplan. Kursplan. And if I click on this one, I will actually go to Dalarna University and I'll see the web design course, a course plan or syllabus. And here you can see the learning outcomes and things that are basically the contract between me and you. When I'm, or Dalarna University and you. What it's supposed to teach you. And it's really good. You have to have it ready available for you, so you can always go there and look. Now we have announcements. Announcements, you can reach them in two ways. Either way, you can look at here at the very top. You can see I have an announcement here right now. And in fact, I can make settings, myself as a teacher that changes how many announcements that will be displayed up here. But in my courses, these are usually 3. I show the 3 most previous ones. And all the announcements that are older than those 3 previous ones will not be visible up here. Then you have to go elsewhere for them. You can go up here to the left. You can see there's a link called announcements. And it takes you here. And then you will have a complete list of all the announcements pertaining to this course. Now, if I click on this one, it takes me to the exact same place. So it's just 2 links taking you to the same place. And you might notice also that whenever I click on this home thing up here, I somehow come back here to syllabus down there. I can never go to. It's because I put this page called syllabus, which is very incorrectly named by Canvas because we use the word syllabus to describe the course plan in Sweden, and in most other countries we do. But in America, we call syllabus. It's all of this. It's the whole course handbook and stuff. So it's unlucky, but these 2 actually mean different things, and this one is actually, I would say, incorrectly named by Canvas, and I cannot change that. But whenever I click on this one, I'll come here, and I click on this one, I automatically get shifted to this one anyway. And this is exactly as I want it, because I want everyone to have this as the start page, and in fact, I want to keep everything already available as much as possible on this page. So you don't have to skip around. You can stay here, get comfortable with it, and look around on this page as much as possible. There will, of course, be a situation where I link you to other pages and so on and so forth, but I don't want to. I want to keep that as a minimum, and I want to keep all of that, also the links to it, in this page. So, so now you know whenever I click on home, I get the syllabus, and when I click on announcement, I get to announcement up here, and you can see this is kind of simple that way. Then you have something called contact. Something you might want to do during the course. If you click on contact, you actually get down here to the very bottom on the very same page. It's not a different page. You're at the bottom. In contact, you will be able to read about contact policies and also now how to contact us teachers. And more on that later on, when we specify contact and what's in it for you and what you need to think about. It will be part on the future part of this playlist. Now, student web. If I click on this one, you might notice something very similar. This is where you usually end up when you're logging in to du.se. And this is also the same place you will do that. So you would already be logged in, and if you click on this, you go there immediately. And I just put this link up here because I think it would be good if everything that is essential to you as a student is already available on the same page, even though it's not part of this course room. Groups and pairs. Yep. This course, in fact, has groups and pairs. Some of the courses only have groups. Some of the courses only have pairs. Some do not have either groups or pairs, just individuals. In this course, we have all of the three. But we don't have any specific way of saying everyone is by themselves. That is just natural. So I don't have to have a specific page about groups and pairs. If you're doing some kind of individual tasks, then you don't have a page for it. But you need to know which other members are part of your group, or which other member is part of your pair. Then this one takes you there. And more on that later on. Literature. Now the course has some course literature or course reference literature or both. And if you want to see which course literature you're supposed to buy and also read during the course, then you usually click on this one and you get a list of that course literature. And it is pretty straightforward. I will not talk more about this during this playlist. So if you have any other questions about how to read course literature, you can ask me. But I think it's kind of going to just be natural. When you start to open it, it's kind of going to be, pretty obvious for you what you're supposed to do there. If I can say that if you have a literature that there's no specification as what you're supposed to read, then it's the whole book, and that's everything. And if you're supposed to read it for some kind of assignment or something like that, no. Usually you use the whole book to just get a feeling of the availability of getting an answer to your question. That is the book's purpose sometimes. Sometimes you can read the whole book from start to finish, but I would also say that it's also good to have something available in front of you that can give you the proper answers. Some people use ChatGPT for that, but I wouldn't suggest you do that. I love ChatGPT and I use it myself a lot. So it's not that I don't promote ChatGPT, but most students that take courses at the bachelor degree level, or Swedish we call it kandidat, they usually don't. They don't know too much about the subjects beforehand. So they actually don't know which questions to ask or how to criticize what ChatGPT gives in return. So in fact, they don't learn anything by communicating with ChatGPT. They just get a lot of the gibberish they don't know how to treat or handle. So you gotta learn something first before you can ask the right questions or critique what you get in return. So that's why I really promote that you stay with the literature and don't trust ChatGPT too much, because probably that will put you in a bit of a messy situation sooner or later. So coming to time edit, could have said schedule, but most of you know that we have a system called time edit. Time edit is where we put up all the schedules for the course. What's stated there is actually mostly the things that you're supposed to attend, or that is the events and so on. What's not scheduled there is the time you spend studying on your own. But of course, this link will take you to the scheduled events. Examination tasks, that thing is, and I will talk no more about time edit during this playlist. Examination tasks, this is very vital for all of you. This is actually, I'm going to talk about it a bit more later on, but I can click on it and you'll see I'll go down here. An examination task. This is where you see the things you're supposed to do during the course, not all the things you're supposed to do, but the things that you will be examined on, where that will you will need to complete to get a grade in a course. So it's of course extremely vital to you. But more on that later on. Grades, of course, when you've submitted a work or submitted a quiz or done anything, been participating in a seminar or whatever it is, you get a grade on it. And you want to be able to see those grades. And if I click on this one, it takes me to those grades. In fact, I have no grades on myself right now. I'm in this as a test student, so I see nothing here. And everything is really messy for me. But if I go to, you can see here, I can go to course evaluation. I can step back to home again. I'll do that. You would see all the grades in here. So I can also click on this one to get there, up here on the left, uppermost left. Let me zoom in a bit more. So what about grades? Yeah, there's a lot of things about grades that you need to know. I'll talk about them later on, but it's really important that you follow along to the part of the course room introduction, because it's going to change the kind of questions you will put up, have regarding grades. Many of you will get those questions answered just by looking at this video. So it seems like in this recording, you'll also see that I have this LADOC. LADOC takes you to a different part. It takes you to your own student LADOC, where you can see if the grade that you have in this course room is also in LADOC. Now, sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. It depends on whether the teacher has committed the grades to both places. It's not done automatically. When grades are existing in the Canvas course room, they're not automatically also transmitted to the LADOC. You have to actually manually do that. And some teachers, including myself, sometimes we grade a couple of students, and then when we're done with a couple of them, we go over to LADOC and we grade them. But it means it will take probably sometimes days, sometimes weeks before the grade is committed to LADOC. Now, below here, you can see something that looks really, really weird. And now it's my code. I have everything written in Python, and I can now see that it starts with week 45 and ends with week 36. Now, that is wrong. It should be the opposite way around. Now, it doesn't really matter for me for this video because you get the point. It should be the reverse. And these are actually the weeks. So if you do not take part in this during week 36 to week 45, it will be other weeks up here. That doesn't really matter either, because you have different periods, you're going to see different things. And why do we have them? Well, they link. If I go to week 36, you see I can go directly down into activities and resources, which we'll be talking about more later on, but they link to these. So in this case, it's kind of a short list. It's not too, thick, these activities and resources, but sometimes I have almost like a page long instruction for each week, and then it's going to be a lot of scrolling to go to the week you're on. So that's why I also put in these, so you can directly skip ahead and jump where you want to go. If you're on week 43 and you want to read about it, you go there. If you want to read about the next week, you go to week 44, because you see. So reasoning there is kind of simple. With that, I think I've been talking about how you can use this first part, the first thing you see when you enter the page. And I hope you use it well. Next one, I'll talk about what's below here. I think this will not take too long, but it's also important that you know some things about that. I look forward to that.